The avoidant was comfortable when they could maintain surface-level understanding of who you are. They could manage the connection when it remained safely superficial, when they could categorize you as just another person passing through their carefully controlled relational life. But something shifted. Time, intimacy, or circumstance allowed them to see beneath your surface presentation, and what they discovered terrified them in ways they never anticipated. You are not who they thought you were. You are more substantial, more secure, more genuinely valuable than they realized. And this discovery has triggered a fear response that is making them retreat faster and harder than ever before. You are too good for their patterns. The avoidant initially believed they could fit you into their usual dynamic. They assumed you would tolerate their inconsistency, accept their emotional unavailability, and eventually leave when their patterns became unbearable, confirming their belief that no one can handle them long-term. But as they got to know you, they discovered that you are not the anxious, desperate person their patterns usually attract. You have self-respect. You have boundaries. You have a life that is full and meaningful, independent of them. This realization is terrifying because it means their usual tactics will not work. You will not chase them endlessly. You will not accept breadcrumbs. You will not sacrifice your well-being to accommodate their dysfunction. The avoidant recognizes that you are too emotionally healthy to tolerate their patterns indefinitely, and this recognition triggers panic. They are scared because they know that being with you requires them to actually change, and change feels impossible. You see through their defenses. What truly frightens the avoidant is that you understand them in ways no one else has. You recognize their patterns for what they are. You see the fear beneath their distance. You understand that their coldness is protection rather than indifference. This level of being seen is profoundly unsettling. For someone who has spent their entire life hiding behind carefully constructed walls, the avoidant feels exposed, vulnerable in ways they cannot control. They are scared because you possess knowledge about them that they have never allowed anyone to have. You can see the wounded child beneath the independent adult. You can recognize their needs even when they deny having any. You can identify their attachment wounds even when they insist they are fine. This visibility strips away the performance that has always protected them, and without that performance, they feel naked and defenseless. They are scared of what you see when you look at them, because it is closer to the truth than they have ever allowed anyone to get. You could actually matter enough to destroy them. The avoidant has maintained emotional safety by ensuring no one becomes important enough to hurt them. They keep people at a distance where loss is inconvenient but not devastating. But discovering who you really are has revealed that you are different. You are someone who could actually matter, who could become so significant that losing you would be genuinely painful rather than just temporarily disruptive. This potential for deep attachment is what terrifies them most. They are scared because caring about you means giving you power to hurt them, and power in someone else's hands has historically led to pain. The more they discover about your substance, your character, your capacity for genuine connection, the more they realize you could become the person they cannot lose without being destroyed. And this possibility feels unbearable to someone whose entire defensive structure is built on ensuring they never need anyone that much. You represent everything their wound tells them they cannot have. As the avoidant discovers who you truly are, they are confronted with the reality that you represent the exact kind of partner they have always needed. but believed they could never sustain. You are secure where they are avoidant. You are consistent where they are erratic. You are emotionally available where they are defended. This contrast highlights their own inadequacy in painful ways. They are scared because you are evidence that healthy partnership is possible, and that evidence exposes that their patterns are the barrier, not the reality of relationships themselves. You are everything they want, and everything they are convinced they will eventually ruin through their dysfunction. The fear is not of you, but of their own capacity to destroy something good, to sabotage the very connection they most deeply need, because they cannot tolerate the vulnerability it requires, the terror of being chosen by someone valuable. Perhaps the most frightening discovery is that someone like you, someone with substance and options and self-worth, would choose them. The avoidance core wound tells them they are fundamentally unlovable, that if people really knew them, they would leave. But you know them. You see them clearly, and you are still choosing to be present. This contradicts everything their attachment wound has taught them, and contradictions to core beliefs are deeply destabilizing. They are scared because your choice challenges their entire narrative about themselves. If someone like you can see value in them, maybe they were wrong about being inherently unworthy. But accepting that possibility requires them to dismantle the defensive structure they have built around the belief that they are better off alone. The terror is not just about you. It is about what your genuine care reveals about the lies they have been telling themselves for years. Why fear makes them run from what they want. The avoidant is discovering who you really are and realizing you are exactly the person they have always needed. But this discovery, instead of pulling them closer, is pushing them away. They are scared because you represent the possibility of genuine healing, of secure attachment, of the relationship that could finally satisfy the longing they have spent their life denying. And that possibility is more terrifying than continued isolation. They know themselves well enough to recognize they might sabotage this, that their patterns might destroy you, that their fear might cost them the best thing that has ever happened to them. So they run, not from you, but from the terror of discovering that they found exactly what they needed and might be too broken to keep it. The fear is consuming them, and their only response is retreat, distance, the familiar safety of being alone, where no one can discover who they really are, and no one can see how badly they want what they are too afraid to accept.